Okay. Okay. Okay, I think this is working. Okay. I worked really hard on this, guys. Okay. Assuming you've watched Onegai My Melody, excuse my American pronunciation. Assuming you've watched this show, if not, this is not June, so you don't have to worry about it. But click off and keep watching it. But if you did, we all know this like amazing scene, right? Very amazing scene. Where Kakeru kisses June for the world, for justice. What if I told you that, like, even after they mourn their little kiss, the second and first kiss, what if them mourning that? What if I told you this is all just denial and that they actually really, really like that kiss? And I swear on my TV that's what I'm going to tell you. How he enjoyed that kiss and how he did too. Okay. And also, no hate to these little cuties because I love them too. They're especially really cute too in the third season. So no hate to them. It's not like I prefer Kakeru and June or anything because they are really well written. And I like that Uta chose him over, the Keiji. So yeah, no hate to them. Do not say the gay kiss was better than this, or otherwise yada yada. I'm just saying how even if Kakeru was saving up his second kiss for Uta up until that moment, he still enjoyed the kiss. So okay, I think we have to go over establish why the kiss even happened. We all know Dark June, right? Dark Power June. We all know Dark Power June, and why he fell victim. So yeah, and in order to, I see my cat. Hi, happy birthday. Hi. Okay. Anyway, since wait, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna assume this is recording. I'm talking really loud anyway, just in case. Anyway, since he's trying to stir up some black notes, Melody is the one who has to stop him from doing that, obviously, but because she's so oblivious, she has to help out, right? And she's the one who, points Melody in the right direction most of the time. And it's also, since that Uta is Melody's dream partner, right? They're literally, or metaphorically, I don't know, connected in a rainbow thread, and he has to sever that thread so that the dream power is gone, and so that they can achieve more black notes. And how does he do that? He has to kiss her. Apparently, yeah. I don't remember if Dark Keiichi did that too, but, and yeah, Keiichi is not gonna, Kakeru is not gonna let that happen, both for Uta and the world. And it's also, I guess, equivalent to, kissing is the equivalent of taking your dream power, like how if you take off Darjune's guitar away for some reason, it'll theoretically take away his dark power too, and maybe get him back to normal. I don't remember that in the first season, but yeah. Okay. Fake fan. Okay, here are the pros and cons of kissing June in order to stop June from kissing Uta back. Saving the world, and Uta, protecting Uta from getting non-consensually kissed. So yeah, so that's why the gay kiss happens, and so yeah, it was purposeful in a way. But it's more than that. I feel like, of course he intentionally flies up there to kiss June, intentionally, with the intent of saving the world. But I feel like it's more than that. Take a look at this. Okay. twice. Okay, look closer here. If you didn't notice it, look at his lips in particular. I'll give you one more try. Yeah, a little there. Okay. All right. So so see in between this little gap how Kakeru is already closing his lips a little bit, like a little bit puckering up. Oh really? Oh my god, sorry. He's already puckering up a little here. And he hasn't seen like the jawline difference. They're not even, you know, like I'm already flabbergasted by the game. And okay, so here's the thing. When you normally, if you're kakeru flying all the way from the rooftop, and you don't, in that aim, since he's flying straight up there somehow, like excusing the physics of that, he's flying straight up there directly at June. He doesn't even need to pucker up his lips, right? He acts all, like, sorrow that he kissed June, as this is like, so he kissed two boys in a row, both of the Hiiragi brothers in a row. We go by that narrative, but if he was really that distressed about it, how come he voluntarily is already preparing to kiss June on the lips right before they're not even this close yet. Yeah, see, they're not even this close, and he already has his lips open and closing to align with June's. And okay, I want you to observe another thing. I have more than that. This is like major, a little more major. Okay. Okay. So here's a couple kissing. Yeah, just to get that scene in your head, right? So here's a stock footage. You might say it's a stock footage. It's not real. That may not be how. Well, they're mimicking how a couple kisses. If you search this up on YouTube, the title is stock footage of a couple kissing, something along those lines. And see the similarities. How the girl's lips also puckers up right when she reaches the guys. But Kakeru's doesn't even reach his lips yet, and he's already puckers up. He already puckers up, and like the other slide said, we'll get to June's lips later. But yeah, just on Kakeru, he is voluntarily kissing, straight up kissing June. He's not even relying on the impact to. He's not even relying on him being thrown right at June as an accidental kiss. This was not an accidental kiss. And yeah, I think we already established that he purposely kissed to better the world. Whatever. I'm so bad at public speaking. Anyway, look at this again. I want you to look a little closer, not just at the lips this time, but if you want to replay the lips again. But notice what fits in the circle. Okay, one more. See what fits. See the tilt. Okay, notice he immediately aligns his head. See this, if you can't see it either, like the shadow of this is supposed to give the illusion of your head tilting upwards, and yes. And like my birthday boy cat, but anyway, okay. Wait, is this still recording? It is. Okay. Let me think about what I was. Yeah, if you look at the shadow, that's supposed to be implying that it's curving upwards. He's tilting his head up, and along with the puckered lips, he's aligning his head with June's. Notice June's head. He doesn't really move. We'll get to his lips later. He doesn't really move yet. Kakeru, who doesn't need to move either, because like I said, he's flying directly at June, so if he just stayed still, he wouldn't need to pucker up his lips for an accidental kiss. And you might already, like, okay, I keep going around in circles, but I can get if you say that he's purposely kissing June just to protect the world, but he doesn't need to, and that's my point. And if you can't see it again, this is a clearer image. Notice the chin. This is his chin from the frame before. And notice how it goes immediately upwards. And this is like the direction of his head. The frame before it goes so up, right? Like the green and red lines is like a big difference, right? Their frames before. Maybe it's not directly before each other, but it's the way he got there. No matter how he got there, he still got there. It's very straightforward. And this is what I was talking about. If he was flying straight up, he could have just had his mouth open, and it would still be a kiss if their lips like touched each other. Because June wasn't even. We'll get to that later too. June wasn't even reacting. So if he just did that, and realistically they would have knocked into each other. Yeah, but yeah. See, so he didn't even need to pucker up his lips, nor did he need to tilt his head. And it's given the fast time, too. In such a short time, he has the energy, and jumping from so high up, he has the energy, being thrown, sorry. He still has the energy to, like, tilt his head. It's crazy. And no, he is not trying to dodge his way up when he's angling his head. I think we all know, and we already established that he's kissing on purpose to save the world, but this is not dodging. I want you to look again and tell me it's dodging, because it's not. Already, notice this, right? This isn't just tilting his head, like head out. It's tilting up. It's not out, it's up. So, it is not dodging. And no, it is, since we keep mentioning the way, it was the way he's getting thrown up is the way that is because of the way that Mana's launching him up into the air, but his lips are not a result of Mana, because that's his own doing. Him tilting his head up is not because of Mana. She just straight up throws him. And while flying, Kakeru's head doesn't move whatsoever. But only until he gets to June's lips, his head tilts to align with June's lips. Therefore, he wanted to kiss June. And again, it's not just that he wants to kiss June to save the world. That's what I'm saying. If he really wanted to save the world, then the bare minimum he still wanted. Okay, if he wanted to sacrifice his lips for the world, then he could have just straight up, like, he didn't need to tilt his head and all, but he did, which makes me think that he wants to kiss June, because who doesn't? And this is what I keep saying, like, if he truly wanted to save the world, then he could have just, like, let himself get launched, and their lips would touch, since in that direction. And this is also why Kakeru didn't push June away, in case he felt that the kiss was too long, which we'll get to that again. And yeah, I don't know how the guy landed, but the guy landed and is straight up like crouching like this and still kissing June hard. And you'll hear how hard, because you've already heard how hard Kakeru and June kiss each other. And we'll get to that. So, and it's because, what I mean by this is that he wanted the kiss so much that he doesn't push June off in the process when he had the time to do so. Which goes for June too, but I'll get to him. And now I'm finally getting to June. Notice his lips too. Notice him. Legit. So he leans back in a little surprise, but you know what else he could have done? Okay, no, that's not. Okay, notice his lips, right? Notice his lips too. So, look at his lips. Just like how Kakeru's puckers up, June's also puckers up as akin to like a couple. See how the lady's lips puckers up just in time with the guys? Kakeru does that too, but June, see how his lips perfectly close together with June's? See how his lips perfectly aligns with Kakeru's once he lands and tilts his head so that they kiss perfectly. See how his mouth goes from a little, like, just a little open to this open. Like, okay, maybe it's just the zoom in. Like, he goes from a little shocked to very shocked the closer Kakeru gets. But the way that his lips were already open, and he wasn't expecting Kakeru to just straight up kiss him, right? But as if it's like some sort of gay instinct, he is really, see how their top lips are already touching? Sure, like, if you're surprised, then you might just close your lips and, like, and since this is in slow-mo, he could possibly just be kissing, like, closing his lips in shock just to avoid the kiss, and avoid an open-mouthed kiss, but it's the way that Kakeru is already, and, okay, here's the thing. You could say that he closed his lips just to avoid that kiss, but it's the way that instead of doing that, he could have just pushed Kakeru straight off, and you could, and he could do that. He's not too shocked to do that. Sure, June normally probably would have a delayed reaction time, but with Mana, he could straight up. This doesn't really count. Like, okay, he sort of lost his thing in this little gif, but he straight up recovers again, and mainly with this, in like hand-to-hand whatever with Mana, when he originally couldn't, as described in that scene. June specifically, Dark Power June specifically, not June Hiiragi, Dark Power June Hiiragi, but definitely could, if he could dodge these, then the way, because Kakeru, as fast as he was flying up there, it still took a lot of time to get from floor A to rooftop B. So he could have straight up pushed him off, but fine, say that he was shocked like we were saying. It's the way that, like, even out of shock, if you're Darjun and you can react that quickly in a fight, then I feel like his instincts would be to fight him off. And no, Darjun does not have feelings. He is not too afraid to hurt Kakeru to push him back so he flies back to the ground and gets heavily injured. He already has had Kakeru injured by his own crocodiles that he himself ordered to bite Kakeru in the butt and balls. So, and he also straight up, like, he finds the fighting fun too, like beating up his obstacles. So he doesn't give a gaff, as my section leader says. Alright. Instead, he kisses back. So, as for this, I don't quite have evidence that June himself specifically kissed back, but it's the way that the popping sound that you'll hear in a little bit, the little sucking sound on, like, the puckering his lips up in each other, the kissing sound effect. It's the way that you could easily do that if it was just one person, like, doing it to the, okay, in that case, where, okay, let's read this. The seal, the vacuum, if one or both partners gently suck in to create a vacuum-like sound, you could say that's more like Kakeru, because he's the one flying up, and if he lands so harshly, then he's probably, like, trying to pull back a little, or either do more with his lips by little sucking in. So you can say that's all Kakeru. But I'd like to think that if June, because as you saw, and notice how, for the pushing back part, again, we'll get to the sound effect later, but it's the way that Kakeru, this is the skin color, right? Don't get confused. This is the head. This is Kakeru's head, so it's split. And his hand, his arm, is right around here. And this is not his arm connecting all the way to his head somehow, as you can see by this next frame. So yeah, Kakeru is not even holding on to Darjun. So Darjun could have easily pushed him back, both because he doesn't give a gaff about Kakeru's health, physically at least, and both because he has the strength to. Especially as Darjin, who's like a lot less, very less sympathetic. Alright. Here's the kiss. I want you to see how long the kiss lasts and the sound effect, okay? Those are the two things. Okay, I'm so sorry. I just realized I have all this trash on my desk, and I should have cleaned it up because this is the one time I'm showing my room, right? Anything like that. But anyway, he had around 8 seconds to back off, right? And you heard the little puckering up sound. So same with kakeru. They both kiss. I sped up the slow-mo part, right? So it would be more realistic. So it's around 8 seconds. If not, I probably made it slower, so maybe it was like a little less. But 8 seconds, even 5, is more than enough time, especially for Darjin, to kick them off, to kick each other off, right? And I guess you can see that in the ending. Wait, what's it? I guess you can see that in the ending, they did like seem very, very shocked. So you can say it really was shocked, since fighting is different from kissing. But it's the way that kakeru launched himself that Jun could have very well taken it as a threat to push him off. So Jun could have easily kicked his way off of kakeru, like pushed him right back as he was launching up and get him injured. But nope. And okay, so we see that they faint, right? They all like are very shocked about the gay kiss that they just had. The very gay 8-second long kiss. But I would like to argue, because notice how kakeru is mourning that his second kiss was Jun, and Jun is mourning that his first kiss was with the guy, his sort of gay best friend. But notice how it's not about the kiss. Their mourning is not about the kiss. It's who they had them with. And it's sort of weird to say, and I feel like it's also morally wrong to say that that you can like a kiss without liking the other party back. But it's like if someone was a good kisser, so the kiss ought to be a little for the kiss, not the feeling, but the kiss may be a little better if the other party, even though you don't reciprocate the feelings, can feel a little better to the lips. So that's what I'm trying to get at. My point is that they purely enjoyed the kiss at the very least. I do believe that they both enjoyed the kiss just because Darjin had so much chances to just get kakeru to back off, but he didn't, and that's my point. My conclusion is that kakeru, I know what you are, and kakeru, it's my turn. So, yeah, okay, I guess that's it. So, yeah, wait, okay. All these papers, these are all papers of, like, the kiss. So I could have very well over-explained everything, but I'm also just bad at doing presentations. I had to click back a lot because this is like a for fun thing, and I don't know how to work Google Slides on an iPad. But, yeah. So I could have very well yapped more, but I think this is the gist of it, and even this is a lot of over-explaining. And I haven't memorized my slides or whatever, because this isn't like a school assignment, and if it was, I would never do it on this. But yeah, so... And this is, like, very much sort of a joke presentation because, like, I know that it's implied that that the kiss is just supposed to be for the funny, so they're not supposed to enjoy it or anything. But what gives? Who cares? I still think that they did enjoy it, just since I guess I could give the pointers here now. Kakeru, even though he could have just kept going, launching himself, and just knock himself over into Jun and have the accidental kiss there, so he wouldn't have to outright sacrifice. Well, he could have sacrificed by that end, but he wouldn't have to straight up kiss his best friend. He could, but he still did. That's my pointer. Very badly worded. Two, I guess that goes along with it, but two, the both of them were really preparing for their kiss. They both puckered their lips in time with each other, as a couple would, like you saw in the stock footage. Oh shoot. And three, they both could have pushed each other off, but I guess Kakeru's too much of a good friend to want to push Darjin off, even though he probably could. He doesn't have that much arm muscles, like legs, I think, as a track runner. Not much of a fighter, but yeah. So Darjin, on his part, definitely could, but he didn't. And then the both of them go out of their way to kiss for 8 seconds. And that is my conclusion, that Kakeru liked his kiss, and how Jun did too. No hate to Uta, because Uta would like to kiss Jun too, so take Kakeru back, please. Okay,